Oh, Colton said we were ready to go, and he just disappeared on us. When will he come back?
Yeah.
I'm pretty interested when he's going to get back here. I see him. The door's closing. He was admiring that Raven. He's admiring the Ravens wall over there. That's what he was doing.
I had to block it out. Like my Raven thing was getting ready to go off. I'm like, oh shoot, hurry up.
But what's going on, everyone? Episode number 98 here for The Fan. I'm here with Dom and Colton. Hello, gentlemen.
Hi.
What is up?
Hello.
How's the week going? All that stuff. Weekend.
It was good till the diner steak this morning, but it's been good. Can't complain here.
I got no Jake this week. He's on a trip, so
he's in the booze cruise, which isn't a cruise, but it's just booze.
I'm solo in the studio, so I'm gonna handheld mic it today for some reason. I don't know. It just kind of it's how I'm feeling.
It's like draft day when I was popping in between the drafts. Yeah, well, come on down. We're gonna sit down
trivia. That was this mic. I could just usual handheld mic is there. I don't know why I didn't just go to that.
Go ahead, keep going. No, keep going. This is a meme. Go ahead.
Yeah, but I usually have mine set up on the thing. I just don't feel like doing that. I feel like solo in the studio. Let's get crazy. Handheld my mic. So.
Yeah,
but
NFC North, we are 3/4 of the way done. 2 more weeks left. Yeah, exciting to see what's going to happen up here in the NFC North with Aaron Rodgers now gone. The division's now wide open. Yeah, it's going to get interesting here.
Oh yeah.
You guys ready to go? Ready to roll?
Ready to rumble.
All right. And thank you for coming in, and you are listening to For the Fan.
You are listening to For the Fan.
So yes, episode 98 is on your way and on the airwaves right now. So without further ado, let's get into it. And we're going to start with the worst team and make our way to the best. So the Chicago Bears, they beat New England week 7 of last season. They go 3-4. It looks like something's going on the up and up, and then they just slide and lose last 10 games, securing the first overall pick. But the Bears trade away that first pick for a slew of draft picks and this guy that is not blurred out in the background behind them, DJ Moore, one of the better young receivers in the league. Now he gets to join a Bears offense that's trying to get better now, as they're trying to figure out, is Justin Fields the guy under center, the whole 9 yards. I think it's going to be interesting to see what happens up in Chicago this year, as everything's going on up there. But let's get into the offense here.
I would like to say as well to the people and to Colton, I already told Will, this was, by the way, the only picture I could find on the entire internet with DJ Moore and Justin Fields in the same frame together. I could not find a picture of them together from practice, from anything. This was as good as I could possibly get with both of them in the same picture together. So I don't know what that's about, but I tried, and this is the result. I think it's just kind of funny. Odd. But yeah, that's offense.
Yeah, let's go into the offense.
I mean, if you were about it, see, it took me a whole 2 seconds. You should have went on to the Bears and DJ Moore's Instagram, and there's a video of their touchdown. And if you just pause the video, come together after a touchdown score. But
it's okay.
All right, I'll let it
Colton just called you out in 4K. Like, how can you recover from
totally
that, Tom?
fine. I'm not that picky. I mean, the Bears can blow, so the pitcher might blow too. Who cares? But to be fair, I am actually very interested in Chicago this season, to be honest. And I think I have to go back and find the audio from the show when I was producing for New York. I said, because I think it's 7 different teams make the playoffs every year. And this was my wild factor. What the frig? Where did this come from? Chicago Bears. Shot in the dark. Making the playoffs. So my team.
I could see that though. I mean, you trade for DJ Moore, who is a
He's
stud.
a legit number one receiver,
He's a
which they've been
stud.
looking for Justin Fields. They have one now. And Chase Claypool, Chase Clownpool, whatever you want to call him, TikTok boy, whatever you want to call him, he's not, the number one guy. Takes a little bit off Darnell Mooney. That's a great trio if Claypool can get his crap together. That is a very, very good trio.
And even
for a guy that's going to possibly take a bigger leap this year and not just run the ball. Like, this could be a big leap for this Bears offense.
They have also redone the offensive line, so it's honestly new. They draft Darnell Wright with the 9th overall pick, 10th overall pick. I'm not sure if they flip-flopped to the Eagles or not. And they also made the additions. They signed Cole Kmet for the long term. They signed Robert Tonyan, who, one of Aaron Rodgers' boys. And also, I'm not a big fan of the running backs, but I do like Donta Foreman and Khalil Herbert. But I do want to bring this up, too, because the Colts have given Jonathan Taylor till Tuesday to find a trade suitor. Do you think the Bears jump in on Jonathan Taylor and add him to this offense?
If you want to go all in, then do it. Just don't get baited into the price tag.
Yeah.
Because they want it first. And sorry, Jonathan Taylor's a great back and all. No.
Yeah, that would be, it would be nuts. I think that would be absolutely nuts. But hey, I think Khalil Herbert's good enough to hold it down, honestly. And Deontay Foreman's not bad at all. But I think Khalil Herbert's enough. I do. When David Montgomery was hurt, Khalil Herbert did a fantastic job still as a starting running back during that time. And I think
he was better than Montgomery at times, to be honest.
I agree. I agree with that 100%. I think so too. So I don't think Khalil Herbert, we haven't really seen him take on a year as a number one, but this year so far, what we have is he's going to, and I think I'm not complaining about that at all. I actually like it. So, hey,
I can honestly make a claim that this offense could be like the best offense in the North.
Yeah, I won't go that far.
Yeah, I don't know about that, but
I do think Minnesota is still going to be very good. As much as Kirk Cousins not playing in prime time is good for him, but Addison coming in there, we'll get to the Vikings in a little bit, and you know what you're getting like so. But again, I'm not going to shut you out. They can easily be second best, and if God forbid Kirk Cousins gets hurt or Justin Jefferson goes down, absolutely this team could be the best. So if they can somehow add Jonathan Taylor so your number one running back isn't Justin Fields, that is a great thing to have. So it's a young quarterback, hasn't gotten paid yet. You can do it. This is the move that you can do. The NFC is not great. If you're going to be a team, this could be one of those teams. Go get them. Throw a second-round pick in there. Just throw a third. See if they'll bite on
They
it.
have so many picks, too, from the Panthers and, just from that trade alone. If they had the second pick, if they had the first pick and they traded with the Texans, they're like, okay, we're just going to trade with the Texans, and then we're going to do the Panthers trade. So they would have just compiled first-round picks at the wazoo for that.
Also, though, I need to see success from Justin Fields. I get that we're setting him up a little bit better and stuff, and I get people want to rate him how they want to rate him after last year. Yeah, he performed well last year at times, ran better than Lamar, maybe at times.
Oh, he was. He was the best running quarterback in the league.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that 100%. But that resulted in 3 wins last year.
The defense didn't really help that much.
No.
For Matt Eberflus, who's a defensive-minded guy, that wasn't the move at all.
Yeah.
And they were just injury after injury. Mooney goes down. Eddie Jackson goes down. They were just losing guys left and right.
Defense or not, the good quarterbacks win games. And I just need an improvement, before I start going.
They didn't win a game after trading for Chase Claypool. They didn't win a game.
It's true.
They were winless.
Yeah.
So it was a great trade for the Pittsburgh Steelers, not so much for the Chicago Bears. Oof.
And I feel like that's when Fields performed his best down that stretch a little bit too. But no wins.
So. They couldn't stop a nosebleed defensively.
I know. Talk about defensively. Let's look, right? What do we got?
What do we got? Yeah, so they add Tyreek Stevenson in the second round this year. They bring in Tremaine Edmonds from Buffalo, TJ Edwards. They ship out Roquan. They bring in 2 studs who've been, in the league for a very long time. Edmonds, in Buffalo. Edwards from Philly. They have made a lot of moves on here, too. And they also signed Yannick Ngakoue pretty late into the offseason as well. I like the secondary with Eddie Jackson, Jaquan Brisker, which we saw just, light it up last year as a rookie. Maybe we'll see more from Kyler Gordon this year. I think I've been saying this with every team, like, oh, this is a middle-of-the-road defense.
Yeah.
At least half of the teams, it's just like, oh, this is like middle-of-the-road, 12 to 20 kind of deal. But I don't know. It's a big improvement for what they were having last year.
Oh, the defense definitely is an improvement. They redid their whole middle linebacker positions, like Pittsburgh. Whole new bodies come in. The old guys out, new guys in. They did the same thing. They spent their free agency money on their middle linebackers. And TJ Edwards coming over from Philly, former Badger, and Tremaine Edmonds coming over as well from Virginia Tech, drafted from the Bills. So we'll see how it works. I got to see what TJ Edwards does. He was the first name signed out of this offseason. And I was like, holy crap, that's a lot of money for TJ Edwards. Like, he was good for Philly.
Yeah.
Let's see if he lives up to that billing. That's a lot of money for TJ Edwards. So this could easily turn out to be a dud. Again, he's a solid player, but, man, it's a lot of money for a guy that Philly didn't value their middle linebackers at all. So was that a big part of their defense? I don't know. Philly came out, or Chicago comes out here and throws money at him. I mean, good for him. Everyone getting their bag. Good for him. I like Tremaine Edmonds a lot. I think he's going to be a very good player for them, a nice cornerstone piece for that defense to go along with Eddie Jackson. So, and then again, Yannick Ngakoue coming in very last minute. A lot of these pass rushers going off the board late here in free agency. I think Clowney just went off the board to the Ravens. So these guys are sliding off the board finally. I think it's kind of just a veteran thing. They don't want to practice. They're good. Like, they're in shape. They're ready to go. Like, just sign me. So Justin Houston, another one going to the Panthers. So I think it's a good move for them. It's definitely an improvement. Is it going to be middle of the road? Could be bad, just slightly better. Get maybe one more stop. So the big thing is Justin Fields. They got him a legit number 1 receiver, which he's kind of been missing. Like, Mooney was great 2 years ago. He had that nice little season. Chase Claypool was okay in Pittsburgh, had moments. Then he has moments like, what are we doing? So could he improve this season with a full offseason with Justin Fields? With the Bears, we'll see. He's got weapons. The tight end they brought in, Cole Kmet they re-signed, like, they're ready to rumble. Like, it's let's go. And again, we talked about Jonathan Taylor. It makes a lot of sense. Rookie contract still for Justin Fields. Get him a running back so he's not having to freaking run all over the place as much as people want to see him run all over the place with fantasy-wise. But sorry, if I'm the Bears, I don't see my quarterback running like that and getting hit. So I'm good. I'll give him Jonathan Taylor. So go out and go get him.
Yeah, again, this defense, I can't confidently say this defense is going to be winning them that many more games. But overall, this whole team, offense, defense, to Justin Fields, to the additions on offense, to what you're giving Justin Fields, you're giving him a lot better of a chance to win the games, to be the quarterback you want him to be the quarterback that I know this offseason a lot of people are hoping he is and rating him to be. But I also think there's a lot of pressure for him to do so. I think there's a lot of pressure for him to do so. I mean, no other Ohio State quarterback has really succeeded in this league. Maybe we're already looking at the most successful one already. Probably not. I guess we're only 3 wins in. So it's like, but I don't know. A lot less excuses for the man. Has a way better chance to do a better job, needs to do it. And there's a lot of pressure, though, to do so.
I think with them, adding to the defense and all that stuff, that's going to relieve pressure because now Fields isn't going to be that one guy that has to do everything for them. I mean, I like the offense, but also the defense, too. They drafted Javon Dexter Sr. What was his name? Yeah, Javon Dexter Sr. They also drafted Penei Sewell's brother, Noah Sewell, from Utah. So that's another big piece there. I think this defense is going to drastically improve, and you'll see it help the offense improve just tenfold overall. That's where that's where like the start is. Like here, the Bears defense improves. That will improve the offense by a mile and a half.
Well, let's see what we could do with the schedule, right?
Yes. Week 1, though, is the all-important game of this schedule. Jordan Love's debut.
Yeah.
And the Bears are home for a 4:00 game. Okay. There's mixes of where like, oh, wow, this looks easy for them. And then there's other mixes like, that sucks. I mean, the sucky parts, the Chargers, the Saints, maybe I could loop in Carolina and then the Thanksgiving Day game against Detroit.
Keep in mind, this team went 0-6 in the division last year, too.
I think they can make it 2 wins or maybe 3. I feel like this division's very wide open right now. I think maybe 8 wins, 8-9 wins. I could think, if they could knock off Green Bay early, they can knock off Tampa Bay. They're going to lose to Kansas City. That's just the factor there. I'll notch Denver a loss
Their
there.
schedule's not awful.
No, but I don't really have more than 8 wins.
That's what I said. This could be a team that surprises people, and this is why they were my surprise playoff team. Because looking at the first few games outside of Kansas City, those are all winnable if the offense can get going. Like if we're looking at their depth chart and it's like, oh, looking at it like Madden, like you're looking at it straight up on paper, like, dang, Claypool, if he can be someone decent. You know what Darnell Mooney has shown you. And you know what DJ Moore is. You saw how good Justin Fields was last year. Like, they got some weapons here. Like, so if they can somehow put it together offensively, we just said how their defense is going to be better. It's not going to be great, but their defense is going to be better than last year. They can win some games here. Like, if you started the 8-2-0, cool 2-1, and a big game at home versus Denver, you win that at home 3-1, you're in business.
I'd really like to
go to Washington, which you don't know what Sam Howell's going to be. Like, this could be a good start for Chicago. I'm not out here going to tell you 10 wins. Like, look at the end of the season, they got Arizona, Atlanta for some reason everyone loves, and then ending with Green Bay. Like, they could be in a very good, decent spot here. This is a possible playoff team in the NFC. The NFC's not great. The division we don't love. We don't know what Green Bay is going to be. Minnesota, we think, is going to take a step back from last year. Like, this team could surprise people. I know Detroit's a big, hot take this year, what they're going to be and what they're going to do. But this team, I could see 9,
I
10
counted
wins
10.
possibly. Yeah. And that's a playoff team in the NFC.
That's like a number 1 seed. That's like the 3 seed in the NFC.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That could possibly win the division, possibly. We'll see what Detroit does. Like, they're without Jameson Williams the first 6 weeks of the season. So that could be a big miss for them. Like, you're going in the draft. Oh, shoot, now we're down on number 2 receiver. Like, that's big for Detroit. So
I think what's also good here, too, is they play Arizona and Atlanta late in the season, and those are dome teams having to play in the cold. And Soldier Field's not nice in December and January, just really cold weather.
I have a hard time confidently saying 10 wins.
I'm not confident saying 10 wins. This could be an absolute disaster, Dom. Like, this could be a dumpster fire. Like, are you guys real high in Atlanta? It could easily come crashing down to like 7-6 wins again. But going off the last season, they bring in DJ Moore. The defense gets slightly better. Like, this team could win 10 games if the offense lives up to the hype that's around it, the player-wise.
I can guarantee 6 wins as a score guarantee, which is already a substantial improvement from last year. That's twice as better. I think that's, again, floor. There's 6. I can look at the schedule and say, boom, 6 wins guaranteed. And then everything above that, I mean, all it takes is 3 more wins. That's 9 wins, 3 surprises over some other teams. I really would like to see them win week 1 against Green Bay. I think that's almost a must-win game for them. Start the season against the rival.
If Jordan Love goes out and wins that game, the Packers are not the Packers. The Bears are screwed.
Well, I wouldn't go screwed, but I would.
I mean, that's kind of like the signal of like, oh, hey, Green Bay quarterbacks, their first kind of like always major start is just
Yeah,
The Bears. You beat the Bears. It's like, they had Brett Favre, that I know we're talking about the Bears. We'll get to the Packers in a few minutes, but
I think that's a huge tone setter for your season, for your quarterback, for everything that's going on for this team. I would love to see them win week 1 for Green Bay. I would feel a lot more confident in this team if they did just pick up the win against the rival in a game that's wide open, new quarterback, everything. I think that's almost a must win for the Bears and a big tone setter, and just, would love to see that happen for them. So I think if they could get that going, absolutely. I'd be a lot more confident in saying a higher amount of wins. But yeah.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Yeah, let's move on. Let's move up into where the new era of Green Bay Packer football. They had Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers for 30 years. I mean, I don't know if any other team's ever had a Hall of Fame quarterback to a Hall of Fame quarterback, just, back to back for 3 decades worth. But he's looking off into the distance where Aaron Rodgers is no longer there. He shipped off to New York. Jordan Love, the first-round pick for the Packers in 2020, where they traded up for him, is now the captain of the team, the commander under center, QB1. Yeah, I have nothing else there for that, but
okay.
I don't know. I was trying to hype up the Packers here, but I have nothing else there. But they go out and Packers fashion, they switch up first round picks with the Jets, and they do not get them a receiver in the first round. I mean, just tradition continues. But they do draft Luke Musgrave and Jaden Reed in the second round to help that. Tucker Kraft in the third round. They rebuilt up the tight end room where they lose Robert Tonyan and Mercedes Lewis. I don't know, but
dude, I don't like this team at all.
I still like that Aaron Jones is there, AJ Dillon's there.
Yeah, that part's nice.
I mean, there's not a clear-cut number one guy for the receiver.
Well, it's clearly going to be Christian Watson, but yeah,
I'm not sold on Christian Watson. I'm not. I just felt like he was flashy because he's speed. He's just coming out of the gate. He's running 80 yards down the field after getting the ball.
There's definitely, obviously, not a true number one receiver on this team. I have a hard time saying for the rest of the league that there's a true number 2 receiver on this team.
This isn't the Patriots, okay? The Patriots don't have a true 1, 2, or 3 wide receiver.
They're talented, right? They're talented receivers. I get that.
This
is a tough league.
There's no one in this room that has over 2 years of experience.
Yeah, this is a tough league.
That is
rookie quarterback.
Dumb.
This is not a good receiving core. This may be the worst receiving core in the league.
I won't say in the league. Okay, there's still the Cardinals. Okay, let's not forget about them. Okay,
I
will say this is the worst in the division. Okay, I won't say it's worse than the league. Okay, there's far worse receiving cores in this league. Okay,
the bottom 3 receiving core in the league.
I won't say bottom 3.
Confident in saying that.
They're in the discussion.
But
they're young. Romeo Doubs had really good moments last year as well, but he got hurt, and then Rodgers went away from him. Christian Watson came to life late. They're very young receiving core, which isn't really good when you have a young quarterback, pretty much a rookie coming in Jordan Love. That this is a big year. I don't care about the record, anything else. Can Jordan Love play football and be my franchise guy? I'm going to skip the defense, going to skip everything else, going to get right to the point. What's a successful season for the Green Bay Packers? It is Jordan Love. It's what it comes down to. Can Jordan Love sit in the box, make some throws, or is he going to crap his pants and going to look lost in the football field, even though he's sat behind Aaron Rodgers for a few seasons? It's what it is. So, I don't think Green Bay is going to be special. Their defense is going to be solid again, like they usually are. They have a solid defense. It's what it is. Can Jordan Love make some throws and win some meaningful football games?
Yeah.
I have no idea, and I don't think the Packers do. I think they're in for a rude awakening here with Jordan Love. I'm sorry. These guys got to start playing at times. That's why I thought Rodgers should have been gone last year. And by the way, he would have been more attractive last year. He's a year younger. You have to find out what Jordan Love is. So now they're thrown in the deep end with him. And decision time, let's go. It's what it is. Yes, it's good having running backs, They're going to run the ball a ton. So if you're fantasy,
They're gonna
get all in on
lead
Aaron Jones and
rushing.
A.J. Dillon. They're going to run the ball because I don't think they want to throw the ball with Jordan Love.
I think a successful season with Jordan Love is let's get 20 in the 20s for touchdowns. Okay, let's get like 3,400 yards in the 20s for touchdowns.
That's a lot. Well, when Daniel Jones hasn't thrown more than 20
good in practice, and in the preseason games, he's looked really good as well. Like he's looked pretty good against a starting Patriots defense, and the Patriots defense isn't just a pushover.
Daniel Jones threw 24 touchdowns his first year. Hasn't thrown that many since.
I know that's what
do
I'm
it.
saying.
Love could do it.
I don't know, but I also like too that they have the offensive line all together too. So keeping that all together, I think that will get Jordan Love, more time in the pocket, figure everything out. Just
it's.
I think Aaron Jones could lead. I think Aaron Jones could lead the Packers in receiving yards and also receptions.
Yeah, literally.
Doesn't that tell you a lot with this team? If that's the case,
that's a Tom Brady led team too. So
but this is what I'm saying. For me, this is a bottom 3 receiving core because this is not the quarterback that you need this for. You need a different receiving core other than this for a quarterback where questions are in the air. I don't want this to be his receiving core where everyone's young, and in some places that works. In this place, I don't think that works.
This could be utter failure. It's on Green Bay for setting this up.
Yes.
Cool. You don't want to help Aaron Rodgers out because Rodgers is that good and whatever. He'll make everyone else around him better. That is not what you want to do with. Again, he's not a rookie. I get it, but he's going to be playing like a rookie, and he's going to have really no one to like. Okay, where am I going? All right, I got George Pickens over there. I have Justin Jefferson. I have a go-to guy. Like I know where I'm going. I got a Garrett Wilson. I know where I'm going with the football. Where is that here other than check down to the running back? Where is that receiver? Like, okay, I know where I'm going. I need to throw with tight end. I need to throw. I'm going there. Where is it here? And that is not good for a young quarterback. Where we talked about Carolina with Bryce Young, I get it hasn't looked good. He's got weapons there. I know DJ Shark apparently reportedly got hurt today, but Thielen, you know where you're going to with the football. Like, I need a throw. I'm going to Adam Thielen. Where is Jordan Love going to with this offense?
A real tight end. A tight end established. This team doesn't have that either. It's not. This is an easy team to play defense against, I think.
I mean, you still got to stop Aaron Jones, and you still got to stop,
AJ
Dillon.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Teams are going to make them throw the ball. They're going to stack the box and say, go ahead, Jordan. Make a throw.
That's what I mean.
I'll play off you. And I think that's going to be the issue for the Packers early on.
Yeah. It should be an easy team to play defense against because of that reason. I mean, there's not too much going on here, But we'll see. I mean, maybe, hey, if they could get a receiver, step up, could be a lot better. Defense?
Yeah, let's go to the defense here. And I do like the defense, I have to say. I mean, Rasul Douglas isn't as explosive as he was in 2021. Last year was a very down year with him. But, they draft Lucas Van Ness round 1. Preston Smith still there. Devondre Campbell still there. I'm interested to see what happens with, Quay Walker because he was, very up and down as a rookie. He got ejected twice last year. I want to see maybe if there's, a maturity, level that's been added to him this year. Rashawn Gary's now, he's off of the PUP. Let's see what he can do. There's a lot of first-round picks on this defense. I really didn't know how many just first-round picks they spend on defense.
Go blue, Rashawn Gary. Yeah, the defense is going to be good. It's just you got to put up points in this league. I'm sorry. This isn't the number 1 defense in football. You got to be able to put up points, and this defense also got torn up at times. Can't stop the run. So this again, it's a good secondary. I like it. I like Darnell Savage a lot. You're getting in Jair Alexander, Rasul Douglas. He's been good for them. He's been a good signing for them, free agent signing. He's actually been really good, honestly, for them. So we'll see if he can stay on that plateau of where he's been at for them. You know what you're getting in Kenny Clark. Preston Smith is going to get to the quarterback at least 11 times. It comes down to putting points on the board with this team. So you can have a great defense and all. You got to put up points, man.
Yeah, one guy too, Carrington Valentine. He's been turning some heads in the preseason as well, so he can honestly start moving up the depth chart. I don't know. I feel like Eric Stokes too. Ever since they drafted him in 2021, I think it was. I just was never like just sold on him. I don't know if it was 2021 or just before. I don't know. I was never just a big. I was always questioning that pick.
There's still some, top defensive players in this league on this team. Obviously, Jair Alexander being a
But this
top
defense could still be a top 10 defense. Like it still can, produce.
100%. But when every game could be potentially an uphill battle, when most of the teams that you're playing is so much better than you on the other side of the ball, I mean, a great defense goes a long way. But again, like Colton said,
That's where I'm at.
You need to score points, and most of these games are going to be uphill battles. Everyone in your division is better than you. Like, tough, man. It's tough, and it's tough to win games when you're in that kind of position. It really is. Look at Washington. Washington, right? I mean, they put up great defense almost every year, but it's not special. Their team's not doing too much, the offensive side, and they even have better weapons. Much, much, much better weapons than this team, it's
not every day that you could find a Terry McLaurin in the third round of a draft.
No,
though.
but this team does not have that. It's I don't know. It's tough.
Yeah, this team mostly had a Jahan Dotson, and they would love to have a Terry McLaurin. It's great. You can have a top 10 defense, but when you have a bottom back end late 20s offense, you are going to be a bad football team, and that's what this team. Unless Jordan Love comes out and proves me wrong, and Watson comes out and puts his foot in the ground that he's the number one guy, this team's gonna be bad. Man.
And how's morale gonna go when every game you play you're outmatched for pretty much the whole time?
Not good. We're gonna have to see some coaching adjustments. Give me the schedule, please, boys.
As we said with the Bears, that first game is very important. It's important for both teams.
It is. I think it's more important for the Bears, but it's definitely very important.
First 2 games on the road to open the season, that's rough. I don't know. I do not.
Does not look good. I can tell you that right now. I don't have a lot of wins on this schedule, to be honest.
I feel like there could be like I don't know, both sides. Like, oh, hey, here's the basement is like 5 wins, and then they could like
I'm around it,
or they could just shock everyone and just be like, oh, hey, we're just going to be a run first team, and we're just going to run the ball down everyone's throats.
I have a hard time saying that this is not a bottom 5 team in the league, record wise, because when I can only confidently say, hey, 4 wins is your floor, I guess, and then like I can't see you winning a lot of these games, man. I just can't.
I feel like this team could honestly beat like a Minnesota. I think they could honestly sweep Minnesota. Like Minnesota's defense isn't something that's like, oh man, I'm so scared of it. Like, hey, Jair Alexander could shut down Justin Jefferson any day of the week.
He did it last year. Like shut down Jefferson last year.
There was 2 catches for like 18 yards.
It is true.
I mean, and then also too, they opened up the season and he let up, 10 catches, 190.
But okay, all right.
If
you sweep Minnesota, if that was the case, cool. 6 wins. Like I don't,
they're not sweeping Minnesota, boys. No. Again, if that happens, you can make it a TikTok. I'll send you $20. Like there's no shot that happens.
I mean, I make the TikToks for my enjoyment, though.
If you're sweeping Minnesota, that may be half your wins on the season. I can't confidently say too much about this team. I can't. Maybe they split against Chicago. Maybe.
Week 1's huge. That's a tone setter for both teams.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know. I'm gonna say like 6 or 7. That's what I'm gonna just
I have a hard time even. Well, yeah.
But also here, if they can honestly get something like going, like if this defense just all of a sudden is like the best defense in the league, like they might be able to notch another like 2 or 3 wins just off of that.
Well, for me,
they do play a lot of young quarterbacks as well.
For me, them notching 2 or 3 wins from their defense is still a 7-win season. I can't commit to anything more than like 6 wins for this team. I don't know. That's all I got. I got nothing more, and I don't like saying it, but I can't say anything else confidently.
You can give me the lines, is what I will tell you.
They have a lot of just youthful though. They just play a lot of like young quarterbacks.
Yeah, but
Beginning of the season, not really.
The teams are playing.
Ritter, Goff's been around the block. Jimmy G's been around the block. Derek Carr's been around the block. Russell Wilson's 80 years old. Kirk Cousins, like outside of the first 2 games and then Carolina, they're really not that young quarterbacks. To be fair, I don't see a lot of wins here, boys.
I don't. I can't.
We'll get to the exciting part.
I want to ask this question though, before we get to the Lions. Okay, like we're going to talk about Justin Jefferson. He's clear cut the best receiver in the division. Who's the second best receiver in this division? Is it DJ Moore or Amon-Ra St. Brown?
Amon-Ra St. Brown. I got to go with Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Yeah, St. Brown.
I was honestly thinking that if Josh and Jake were on, I was going to expect them to be like, oh, DJ Moore or something like that. But
I'm not necessarily something
split in here.
Amon-Ra St. Brown.
There goes my idea for a TikTok. All right.
Yep, it's St. Brown. I'm very sorry. You can post it and see if everyone disagrees with us, but it's St. Brown.
I love DJ Moore. He could put up 1,000 yards easy, but Amon-Ra St. Brown all day. Let's talk about him then.
Let's go into the Motor City, where it's the tale of 2 halves last season. The Lions in the first half of the season looked like the Lions we know, a dumpster fire, garbage. Nothing about biting any kneecaps off. The second half of the season, they were honestly a top 3 team in the NFL with 8-2. They nearly clinched the playoff berth. And, well, we look at it here. They ended Aaron Rodgers' tenure in Green Bay. They shut them out. They denied him of a playoff berth. And the Lions finish over 500 for the first time since, I think, their last playoff berth in 2016. Way back when. But yeah, so new era, and they kept this coaching staff intact. I mean, it goes all ways here. Very exciting to see what Detroit can do on offense and the defensive side of the ball.
And 5-1 in the division.
That's honestly incredible. That is incredible.
Substantial. They play hard. They've always played hard against division, but
and they sold out of season tickets this year.
Hell yeah.
Which is honestly super just. That's wild to me. But on offense, Jared Goff there, 3rd year in Detroit, he looked really, really good. He looked like what we knew from before. They draft Jahmyr Gibbs. They draft Sam Laporta. They added back Marvin Jones Jr. And Amon-Ra St. Brown, 3rd year. He's still writing off everyone's names from that 2021 draft that were drafted ahead of him, checking them off one by one. And also, let's not forget Jameson Williams, who is suspended for the first 6 games of the year, has a hamstring injury, so he was just kind of like done for the preseason after that. There is a lot of good on this offense.
David Montgomery.
They've kept this offensive line together too.
Yeah. David Montgomery at running. They have him as running back 1 on here, but then Jahmyr Gibbs, who's going to be an absolute stud, weapon, everything. You've seen him in camp so far in videos. You've seen what they've said about him. I mean, it's all positive, and it all looks insane. And this receiving core is deep and awesome. I mean, awesome. Like you said, your top 3 guys right there, Marvin Jones, Josh Reynolds, Amon-Ra St. Brown, good. Khalif Raymond, good. Jameson Williams, when he comes back, stud. This is a great receiving core. I love this receiving core. Jared Goff can sling it, honestly, and he played fantastic last year. I would say that I would have a conversation saying that he might have played like a top 10 quarterback last year. David Montgomery, certainly not bad at all, but Jahmyr Gibbs as well. This is a great team.
Let's not forget too that they were going to take him at 6. Jahmyr Gibbs.
Yeah.
That was their guy at 6. And then they trade back with that first like 12 picks was crazy with the Cardinals going back, moving up and all that stuff. And let's not forget too, number 50, Teddy Bridgewater.
Yeah.
I mean, that number's not going to stay. It's done. It's just a preseason thing because I think 0 to 19's been taken on this team. So that's just, it is what it is kind of deal. But it was very weird watching that game on Saturday with him, being quarterback 1 and wearing number 50. I'm like, is that a linebacker? I had to keep on triple checking my eyes.
And Hendon Hooker, I forgot this is where Hendon Hooker went, and people were hype about him. So not that really I think he'll ever touch the field this season for them. But
I honestly think Hendon
quarterback
could be better. I think Hendon Hooker could be better than Will Levis. If Hooker didn't tear his ACL and his whole knee just went out,
yeah,
he would be way ahead of Will Levis.
Yeah, it's probably a late first round pick if he doesn't blow his knee out.
I agree.
Yeah, he's not playing this year, so it's either they're going to just keep Goff and Bridgewater, or they're going to keep Sudfeld going along.
But this team is awesome. I love this. Colton, what do you have to say?
It's a good team. I think Jahmyr Gibbs been really the talk of the offseason and training camp so far. It was a surprise draft pick. He's looked to be really fast, and he kind of looks like an upgrade of DeAndre Swift, who they shipped out to Philly this offseason. So I wouldn't have taken a running back there. You signed David Montgomery, but what do I know? But again, he's going to be very special. I think he has the potential to be really good. Jared Goff, great season last year with, I'm going to say Brown. I think they're going to have a great connection again. So I think the offense could go up. Their offensive line's really good. Their tackles are set. They're in a really good spot here. It's, can they capitalize with expectations now? This is not a surprise team that's going to catch you off guard. Everyone knows you're coming, Detroit. Prime time open out of the gate when we get to the schedule of Kansas City. That we know about you. You're not going to, oh my gosh, Detroit, wow, you shocked us. We know about you. So just like Cleveland, expectations in Detroit, we'll see if you can live up to them because you have them. You have them.
Do you think this is a playoff team?
Again, NFC, I think so.
Yeah, I agree. I think it has to be.
I'm kind of on the
for this offense playoffs.
Whoa, hold on. There's a TikTok. There's a TikTok on your own stuff. Whoa, you're not sold. Will, do you think the Detroit Lions are a playoff team this year?
It's a 50-50 pull right there.
Wow.
I feel like the expectation, they had the worst defense in the league. And when we get to the defense there, it's drastically improved. They're, a way better defense than they were last year. But
bring it up.
But expectations in Detroit, I don't think they just bode well. I just don't. I just have this hunch that it's just. I have a hunch that they're going to be a flop this year. I really do.
Wow.
I think Dan Campbell lets them be a flop. I don't think Dan Campbell. I think this team is.
I think he's too tough-nosed and football guy to be a fail.
Yeah, I think.
I want them to succeed. I want them to succeed. Trust me. But I have this weird hunch
that negativity. No, you don't.
I feel like this is that team where everyone's up playoffs, and it's just gonna. I think it might come crashing down.
Well, there's your TikTok from this episode. You nailed it right there.
Let me dance too. Ooh, Corvette. I'll include that as well. But yeah, let's look at the defense here. Yes, it's drastically improved. This worst defense by a mile last year. How they won 9 games with a defense that was bottom of the league, beyond me. But they stacked up in the secondary. Cam Sutton, Emmanuel Mosley, who's coming off of ACL injury. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, who everyone thought, he's just going to go to a team and just shocks the world going to Detroit. Jack Campbell, again, another very questionable pick by a lot of people, but he's showing up in camp. He's a
football guy, man. He's a Dan Campbell guy.
Football guy.
That's a hard-nosed, bite some kneecaps kind of football players, that Iowa Hawkeye, Jack Campbell.
We got to bring Joe on and do some impersonations because I think he can nail a Dan Campbell impersonation, Dom.
Oh, I bet you he can.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I think he can. But also, too, Aiden Hutchinson, Alex Anzalone, too, is there for another year. I really like the defense. I really do. It's deep. It's good. That's what she said.
It's deep. It's good.
But yeah, Kirby Joe. Where's Brian? There's Brian Branch. He's behind Gardner Johnson.
Yeah, CJGJ, bro. That's a solid addition.
I'm really interested to see how this defense will perform with a lot of new faces, especially in that secondary. 3 corners, a safety.
It's a lot more solid than last year.
There's a lot of
better.
Yeah, a lot better.
If this defense was there last year, I think they run away with the division last year.
So then what about this year? What about this year?
There's just I have this hunch. I have this hunch.
He contradicts himself, Don. You know what he is?
Hunch.
He's proving why he's a diner steak guy. He's proving why he is. He proves it. He can't argue it.
That is the diner steak of all takes. How often it's got better?
Would you get a steak and eggs from a diner for breakfast? Okay,
he's ballsy. Yeah, but you didn't get it. You didn't get it. No.
No, I got pancakes of purple. That's what I got. Okay.
Exactly. You know better.
Like, I also watched this lady try to park her car 10 times. She could not get around this curb. Okay.
That's always going to happen at a diner. It's okay.
You got yourself. No one knows how to Don't try to cover it up. You got yourself. You had a freaking diner steak for dinner, my guy. Like you just no. Don't even try it. Will the fact that you have this team flopping this bad, like. If you had again, he is kind of an.
I just have this hunch, okay. Listen here. I could go back through all the times where I have this hunch where it's like, I think this team's going to do good. Abilene Christian College against Texas, number 14.
Okay, Sam Darnold. Okay, Sam Darnold. Don't give me this crap, Sam Darnold, with your MVP Sam Darnold crap, and you're going to give me the whole diner steak take that they're not making the freaking playoffs after both sides.
Also, here, I remember last year in fantasy football, I had this thing where I said, "Oh, Cooper Kupp's gonna get hurt. I gotta get him off the team."
Okay. All right.
Okay. Listen, I have these weird hunches.
Give me the schedule, diner steak. Can we edit your name to not Will to?
The schedule for the diner steak. It's the special every day of the week, and until Colton orders it. Okay, that's what it says on there.
Well, it sucks. Oh gosh. Oh,
I went to K-Pot too. Okay, I'm not sure if you're going to compare that to a diner steak. I don't know.
Poor Allison's stuck with it.
Wow, this schedule.
I could have found a good schedule. There was one that looked like a potato was taken with it. It was just blurry as anything.
I'm okay with this. This is as straightforward as the schedule gets. That's good. They're not.
I had to scour Twitter to find one too because Google.
Yeah, week 1, Kansas City sucks.
I like that. I like the home opener against the Seahawks because last year that was a great game last year.
Yeah, tough.
It was a great game.
This we're gonna have to see how good this team is.
But I do like the week 3 to week 6 stretch though. Atlanta, Green Bay, Carolina, Tampa Bay. Those could all be wins.
I honestly love their back end. Outside of Dallas, I see some winnable games there. Like literally outside of the Chargers week 10, there's not a game that really scares you, shakes your bones there if you're a Detroit fan.
I would say the last 3 weeks though, Minnesota twice and then Dallas as well.
We'll see. We think Minnesota, a lot of people think Minnesota's taking a step back. So if Detroit's taking the step forward, Minnesota's taking the step back, let's go. Let's see it. Big boy football.
This is the division where I'm having the most trouble trying to figure out who's going to win. I feel like it's a sure lock for everyone else in the NFC, but it's just like.
Well, no, we had a tough time with the NFC South. We were pretty.
Yeah, you goofs like all of a sudden like, oh yeah, this is a crap division. We don't know who's going to win it. It's clearly going to be the Saints, and the fact that the Saints is crazy.
Yeah, so at the back end, the Chargers, the Saints. I'll say 5. The Chargers, the Saints, both on the road. And then those last 3 are kind of like that most difficult post buy.
I got 9-10 win floor. That first going into the bye week, you should only have 3 losses at most. At the absolute most, going into a week 9 bye week, 3 losses. Period. That's if you lose against Baltimore, Seattle, and Kansas City. But I think they could be Baltimore. Maybe. Or I think there could be a surprise win in there for them against one of those, not Kansas City, but Seattle or Baltimore. I think this team could put up double digits and make playoffs.
Yeah, I think they make the playoffs. I actually still think the division is going to the next team that we're about to get to. I think they keep the division, to be honest, but I think this is a playoff team.
Yeah,
But it's always when the Lions make the playoffs. It's like, can they win that? They have the longest, drought of playoff teams right now with
probably winning. Not. We'll see how. Like if the season goes that well, most likely win wild card round.
They're at least gonna compete hard. Like there's no way that they don't compete in every single game they're in with Dan Campbell coach. And this being a tough, they're gonna compete, and they're gonna give some teams headaches even if they lose some of those games. Next team.
Let's get into the next team here where Cole Cash is aplenty here with Kirk Cousins and company and Kurt Chains. I forgot what his nickname is, but the most games won by a single score is this team right here, your NFC North champions from a year ago, the Minnesota Vikings, gritting their way, throwing up the chains on Kirk on every plane ride. Everything going right for Kevin O'Connell, who I don't know if this is going to be a biasness or not. I think he should have won Coach of the Year last year. I felt like he earned that, especially with, Mike Zimmer and all that stuff, going from a 6-win team to a playoff team. I don't know about y'all, but that's what I was thinking. But another year, Kirk Cousins in a contract year. He says, I'm not negotiating a contract till after the season. We'll see if he's going to be QB1 heading into 2024. But, this leaves that question. Are the Vikings the division winner going into this year? And let's go into the offense here where they make the addition of Jordan Addison. They match him with Justin Jefferson, KJ Osborne. You can argue that, this might be the best receiving core in the NFC North. TJ Hawkinson, they traded in midseason from Detroit. A very weird inter-division trade, too, especially among like a large name like TJ Hawkinson, who's a top 5 tight end. I don't know. And he's also nursing an injury as well. But I think the question is, can Alexander Mattison step up and be that guy that Dalvin Cook was since 2017? That's my worry, is the running back room. There's no one here that makes me say, like, hey, they can, handle the workload if they needed to be called upon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. If you're going to look at one thing and that kind of scares you, it's definitely the running back room. We've seen Alexander Mattison do very well filling in for Dalvin Cook, but Alexander Madison's now the full guy. Like this is it. Like you're getting all the touches. Like how's he going to handle that?
Yeah,
like, same thing with Tony Pollard. Like how can you guys handle getting the bulk of the carries? I love Jordan Addison. I thought that was possibly another steal to draft. It's shockingly they get Jefferson. They didn't expect to. They get Addison. I don't think they were expecting to get Addison. So I think Minnesota has a really good receiving core. I think KJ Osborne really lit up the box score late in the season last year. So it's going to come down to Kirk Shiesty. It's Captain Kirk. It's what it is. It's Kirk Cousins, and can he deliver? This team's now not going to surprise some people. Can they prove the doubters wrong? That's the big one here. They're getting very much doubted. They're going to take a step back, myself included. Let's go. Let's see it. And I don't know if we're going to see it. That's the scary part here with Minnesota.
Yeah, I mean, the addition of Addison obviously is solid for losing Adam Thielen, which was a solid time to lose Adam Thielen in his career.
Yeah, I think it's an upgrade.
Yeah, and Addison's perfect addition right in that spot. But yeah, I mean, like you said, we got to see with Alexander Mattison. We've only gotten him and successfully gotten him in stints, never for a full season being the guy. So that's obviously it. But hey, I'm not saying that this team can't succeed. I'm not saying that at all because they definitely have the potential to do so. And Hawkinson, and they have, it's the best tight end they've had in a while. Yeah, I don't know. Team's still good. Offense is still good.
Yeah, I got nothing else. But it's the tale of two halves here with the defense now. I am not a fan of this defense whatsoever. They get rid of Eric Hendricks. He goes to the Chargers. They trade away Zadarius Smith. Like, you kind of trade away like 2 home run guys that are just like in the middle of the field. They can, do stuff. I don't know. Danielle Hunter, I don't think he's going to be there after this year. He's getting paid a lot. I don't think he's going to be there after this year. I wasn't a huge fan of like the Marcus Davenport signing. They also cut Patrick Peterson. They bring in Byron Murphy from Arizona. He's now the lead guy. I know Cameron Bynum.
Was Anthony Barr on the team last year still, right?
Nah, he was on the Cowboys, I think.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
I don't hate it. I don't love it. But I love their offense a lot more than other teams in this division. So that is the only hope for them. It's a prove-it year for Marcus Davenport. Ooh, God, New Orleans moved heaven and earth for him, and he just did not work out at all. I think Jordan Hicks is a solid player. You know what you're getting in Danielle Hunter. Harris Smith's a baller in the back end. Can Kirk Cousins do it? They got an upgrade at wide receiver in Jordan Addison, losing Thielen. That's kind of what it comes down to for me.
I think the question, though, is will Kirk Cousins be there after 2024?
I don't know. They keep wanting to extend him. They want
to extend him, but he's kind of like, I'm gonna wait this out. I'm gonna do.
He's seeing the market. He's not silly. If he has I
really think he might end up with the Niners or the Rams. I mean, that's always been reported that they've been calling wanting to get a quarterback, but
yeah,
I don't know. If you lose Kirk Cousins and you go to a rookie, I think that really affects Justin Jefferson and what he might want to do.
He's gonna be calling to get the heck out of town.
Mm-hmm. Honestly, on this, just by the way, just to stay on defense for a sec, Juwan Williams was good in New England, but I would put that as a factor of him being on New England and being in that defense as why he was good. I know, he's not starting.
Oh, they got an upgrade at DC. What are you talking about?
Yeah, they got Brian Flores.
That's right.
You know how it works with New England and those corners and how that works out.
I'm just saying, you got Brian Flores there now.
I don't even think Williams touches the field. I think Booth is honestly ahead of him.
That's
and then I mean, too, Cameron Bynum, Lewis Seen that we saw last year, he broke his leg against the Saints in London. He was stuck there for 3 months just trying to get, to a point where he could fly back with the team.
I don't think this is the worst defense in the league, but it's not.
Definitely
I think it could get exposed pretty quickly, but that's also with the schedule that they have as well.
Speaking of Will,
let's look at the schedule here. I mean, the big thing though, a Thursday night game against Philly early in the season.
Tough.
Yeah.
They're gonna want that.
Kansas City, the 49ers. Joe Burr and the Bengals, week 15. And also Detroit, back to 2 times in the last 3 weeks of the season. I honestly think the NFC North could be the 4th seed for the playoffs this year for the NFC. I'm not super sold on them. I think it could be a 10-win team. I think it could be a generous 10-win team.
So it almost sounds like Detroit could win the division, Will, and make playoffs.
Or Bears.
Oh, okay. That's where you're leaning. All right. I don't know. Yeah, I kind of have this being – I still have it being the Vikings or Detroit in the division at like 10 or 11 wins max, maybe 12. The Vikings are like Detroit. They're going to compete in every game they're in, and they're going to compete in pretty much any game on this schedule as well. The Vikings are. A lot of the games could go either way. They did last year. It was the same story. They were close in every game, and it either went well, didn't go well. It's kind of always been the story for the Vikings the last few years with Kirk. So I don't know. But, yeah. I think them and the Lions both make playoffs. Maybe.
I think they go 2-2 after the Carolina game. Because you got to play Philly, and then you got to play the Chargers, and Herbert's not a pushover, and then you play the Chiefs.
San Fran's tough. I have such a hard time judging teams against San Fran just because San Fran's quarterback. I don't know what's going on. Sam Darnold just got announced as being quarterback 2. So
Trey Lance could honestly be traded up into Minnesota.
yeah.
I know there's been a bunch of reports that they've been exploring trying to trade for Trey Lance and just let him be the QB2.
Wow. Colton, what do you think?
I agree. I think they're around that 10-win mark. I think that could be a playoff team, possibly division winners if they prove some people. I think they got an upgrade at wide receiver with Addison over Thielen. So if they can get a connection like he has with Justin Jefferson, I think this team could win the division. They have a lot of big games. That's not really a good sign for Kirk Cousins. So we'll see. Can Kirk finally take the step and win some big football games? Like, I know they had a lot of comeback wins last year. Not something to be proud of, like to even be putting yourself in the spot like that, like they were. The win differential, not good. Like, they got to take a step this year. Kirk Cousins is the big one, and I think it's a coin flip between them and Detroit for the division. Like, if you were asking me, I think I'm leaning Minnesota. But Detroit's nipping. Like, they're there. So I think that's where I'm at with this division.
Hey, what would it take for the Vikings to have a successful season? I feel like that's tough.
In a playoff game?
A much better defense. That defense cost them that playoff game. They could have beaten the Giants if they had at least a step up. Not even saying like a drastic step, like a step from what they had last year.
It's fair. Yeah, playoff where they need to start, they've competed.
Honestly, maybe repeat seasons from Kirk Cousins, just showing like, hey, I could throw 30 touchdowns and 8 interceptions. I could do that and just continue to show I'm the guy. And maybe even seeing, hey, is Kirk Cousins going to be around, or are we going to be drafting going to be in the quarterback market trying to get Caleb Williams next year?
Yeah, they're not going to be that bad.
I know that. I mean, listen, no one's going to be as bad as the Cardinals. Okay, it's going to take a mile and a lot of prayers to get that bad.
Isn't that crazy? That I know it's off topic. Thankfully, I said my piece about this division. They're possibly going to get Caleb Williams and Marvin Harrison, and restart their whole team. Arizona, your favorite franchise that you will jump to. But I'm not going to go all in on that. We'll talk about that season preview, because there's not going to be a lot of talk about Arizona this season. So we'll dive in a little bit more.
There'll be more talk about what went wrong with the Arizona Cardinals.
Yeah, we're not talking about Arizona. They're going to be a lost team. Holy crap, Arizona existed this year? Wow.
Every game I'm going to do this season, my game of the week is always going to be, the Cardinals, because they let this guy break a record for this week and that week and just all that stuff.
Hey, question. Is there a chance Gannon gets fired this season, mid-season, during the season?
I don't think so. I really don't.
Know.
It's not that time where you could compare coaches and the shortest tenures and all that stuff. Like the Niners, they fired a guy after 3 preseason games. I don't think you can honestly, be that bad. But also, you don't have your quarterback once, so you can't really judge it off of anything like that.
Yeah, that's true.
But then, if they get Caleb Williams, where does Kyler go? Because I don't really think you can't move that contract.
He's also I would say he's still a starter in the league, He's a top 32 quarterback in the league, I think.
I'll give you that. That's not saying much.
Baker Mayfield ahead of him?
That's not saying
much. That's not saying much, is it?
Especially when there's starters in this league that are not a top 32 quarterback in this league. So,
but yeah, I think that rounds out our show. An hour? Look at that. Time and all that stuff. We got it all under control. Next week, the AFC East, that rounds out the tour of all the divisional previews, and then the week after that, the season preview. Nice juicy episode of just what's going to happen, what do we think is going to go right, what's going to go wrong.
Two exciting weeks. Next week should be one of the best previews. That division is nuts, freaking nuts. Those previews should be awesome. Very, very, very competitive division. I look forward to seeing what everyone says about that division next week, because it really kind of could be all over the place a little bit. But it's definitely going to be a competitive division, exciting things happening, as Will knows more than anyone else. And then, yeah, I mean, the prediction show is everything leads up to the prediction.
It's my favorite show because it's just like, how bad can you be? And like, just you're guaranteed to at least get like 5 things right. Not a lot, but
that's where the receipts started getting printed. That's where I know Will's talked suits. I know it's a fun show. It's a fun show. Takes galore. We're going to be taking stuff and putting those into TikToks all season.
And it'll be episode 100.
No, it won't.
Yeah.
That's too freaking perfect. That's gorgeous. That's amazing. Freak yeah. Yeah, it'll be awesome. I'm excited for that show a lot. I'm excited to see how much we all do well or awful.
Yes, I just like 3 years ago, I told Cole and Ollie the Jets going to win the division, and he laid it on me. He laid the smack down.
Well,
no, they got the second overall pick. I even found it the other day. He goes, see, I'm not going around being like, oh, the Steelers are godly. No, I have real expectations. You don't have real expectations, okay? Look who was right and look who was wrong, Will.
Was Sam Darnold still on the team?
Yeah. It was Adam Gase, too. I just wanted to see something right.
Oh, man.
Yes.
Okay.
But yeah, that's 2 exciting weeks, and then we'll go into, whatever.
Oh, yeah. I just want to just flash it real quick. Boom. There you go.
Yeah, next week, the AFC East, and then after that, the season prediction show, awards, playoff brackets, bold takes, week 1 picks. It's going to be exciting because there's a lot of good people picking games. Pick at the pickings.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm so excited.
I'm excited because we'll see between Colton and I who's going to be because we both are tied 1-1. We didn't do anything last year, so maybe we'll see who breaks the tiebreaker this year. A little rivalry inside the big rivalry. But yeah, that rounds out our show. So hey, thank you if you made it this far. Rate us 5 stars in your local podcast platform: Apple Podcast, Spotify, Google Podcast, Spreaker. Like and subscribe on YouTube. All down below for the Fan Network on YouTube, for the Fan Network on TikTok, for the Fan _ on Twitter, and for the Fan Football on Instagram. It's not X, and it will never be X. I will not be going that way. But yeah, tune in next week for the last season prediction, season preview show. As always, I'm Will. There's Dom and there's Colton. And thank you for tuning in. We will see you next week.